LeBron James may still be a Los Angeles Laker, but everything around him is changing. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. After years of being the face of the franchise, the leader, the centerpiece, the icon, LeBron now finds himself in a strange, almost unfamiliar role. The Lakers, once fully committed to building around him, are now focused on someone else, a new star, a new future, and possibly a new identity. That new face is Luka Doncic. Back in February, the Lakers shocked the NBA by trading for the young Slovenian superstar at the trade deadline. To make it happen, they moved on from Anthony Davis, LeBron's longtime running mate and former teammate, sending him away in exchange for the player who now represents the next chapter in Lakers history. It was a clear statement. The Lakers are no longer building around aging stars. They're thinking long-term. They're thinking Luka Doncic. And while that may be a smart basketball decision, for LeBron James, one of the greatest players the game has ever seen, it came with a heavy emotional cost. According to a report from ESPN's Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst, LeBron felt disregarded by the organization during this transition. He understood the reasoning. He even accepted the logic. But emotionally, the shift stung. Sources close to James say he's never felt less prioritized in his entire career. For a player who's always been the focal point, in Cleveland, in Miami, and then again in Los Angeles, that's not easy to process. And let's not forget, Luka Doncic never asked to be a Laker. He didn't choose LA. He was brought here by a franchise looking to secure its future. LeBron, on the other hand, did choose the Lakers. He arrived in 2018, during one of the darkest periods in team history. 5 straight seasons without a playoff appearance, the worst stretch the franchise had endured since leaving Minneapolis. Despite that, LeBron took on the challenge. He brought championship expectations back to Los Angeles. And in just his second season, he delivered, leading the Lakers to their 17th NBA title in the 2020 bubble. That championship should have cemented his legacy in purple and gold forever. But legacies don't always guarantee security. This off-season, LeBron picked up his player option for the 2025 to 2026 season, a deal worth over $50 million. Financially, it's a big commitment. But behind the scenes, questions remain about how committed the Lakers truly are to LeBron's final chapter. His agent, Rich Paul, made a rare public statement that seemed to hint at LeBron's frustrations. In his words, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. That line says it all, a realistic chance of winning it all. Because at this stage in his career, LeBron doesn't have time to wait. At 40 years old, he doesn't have 5 or 6 years to watch a new core develop. He wants to contend now. He wants to win now. And most importantly, he wants to feel like he's still part of the plan. Rich Paul continued, "We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count. The Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. It's a delicate balance. On one hand, you have Luka Doncic, a generational talent, just entering his prime, ready to lead the next great Lakers era. On the other, you have LeBron, a living legend, still productive, still driven, but in the final stretch. For the first time since joining the Lakers, LeBron's path and the franchise's vision don't align. And that raises serious questions. How will this dynamic evolve during the upcoming season? Will LeBron truly be treated as a co-star to Luka Doncic, or just a fading presence in the background? And what happens if the Lakers fall short again? The truth is, this may be the final season we see LeBron James in a Lakers uniform. If the team continues to drift toward the future without fully including him, LeBron could decide to finish his career elsewhere, perhaps in Cleveland, maybe alongside Bronny, or even in another surprise destination. One thing is clear. The Lakers are entering a new era. And LeBron James, for the first time in a long time, is no longer the centerpiece. But don't count him out just yet. LeBron's pride, legacy, and competitive fire are still very much alive. If this is truly his final ride in Los Angeles, you can bet he'll do everything in his power to remind the world who he is, and what he still has left to give. Because while the Lakers may be preparing for the future, LeBron James is still fighting for the present. The Los Angeles Lakers may have finally landed their new starting center, but this move is raising eyebrows across the league. DeAndre Aton, the former #1 overall pick, is now a Laker. After being bought out by the Portland Trail Blazers, Aton signed a 2-year deal with Los Angeles, turning down other offers to join a franchise with championship aspirations. On the surface, it looks like a solid move. The Lakers needed size. They needed a center. Aton was the best available name on the market. But dig just a little deeper, and the risk becomes clear. According to NBA insider Sam Quinn of CBS Sports, this deal could easily backfire and potentially hurt the Lakers in both the short and long term. Let's break this down. If Aton performs well this season, if he finally taps into the potential we saw during his time with the Phoenix Suns, he'll likely opt out of the second year of his contract to chase a bigger payday elsewhere. That would leave the Lakers with a 1-year rental and no long-term security. But if Aton doesn't perform, if he plays like he did in Portland, where effort and consistency were major concerns, he's going to opt in to that second year. And at that point, the Lakers are stuck paying big money to a center who's clogging the rotation and limiting flexibility. So either he's too good to keep, or not good enough to move. That's the definition of a lose-lose. And here's the thing, we've already seen both versions of DeAndre Aton. At his best, he's a mobile big who can finish around the rim, clean the glass, and protect the paint. He's not an all-NBA player, but he's a high-level contributor who can flirt with all-star numbers. But at his worst, he becomes invisible, passive, emotionally detached from the game. That's what Portland experienced. In just 40 games with the Blazers last season, Aton put up 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 1.6 assists per game. On paper, not bad. He shot nearly 57% from the field. But his impact didn't match the stats. He lacked fire. He disappeared in stretches. And his effort, frankly, was questioned, not just by fans, but by people inside the league. And now, he's stepping into one of the most demanding basketball environments on the planet, Los Angeles. The Lakers don't have time for another reclamation project. They're not here to see what happens. They're in win-now mode, with 40-year-old LeBron James still chasing one last title and Luka Doncic entering his prime with the weight of a dynasty on his shoulders. This is not Portland. This is not the Suns' rebuilding years. This is the Lakers. And expectations come with the jersey. The front office believes that Aton can be reinvigorated by the bright lights of LA. They think playing alongside legends like LeBron and Luka Doncic will push him to elevate his game. They're hoping that a competitive locker room and the pressure of the Lakers brand will keep him focused and engaged. And to his credit, Aton seems excited about the opportunity. After signing, he said, "I'm happy to be in a winning environment again. I'm ready to compete and prove myself. I want to show people the real me, the player I know I can be." That sounds good. But Lakers fans have heard promises before. And words don't win championships, actions do. Aton's challenge now is to not just show flashes, but to bring it every night. He needs to defend the rim. He needs to dominate the boards. He needs to set hard screens, finish through contact, and sprint the floor like a big man who actually wants it. Because let's be real, with this roster, with this window, the Lakers can't afford passengers. If Aton steps up, this could be a career-defining moment. A redemption arc. The beginning of a powerful second chapter under the lights of Crypto.com Arena. But if he doesn't, if the effort fades, if the bad habits return, this could go down as another failed experiment. And the Lakers don't have time to waste. There's a championship to chase. There's pressure from fans. There's legacy on the line. The front office is gambling that DeAndre Aton is ready to grow up, lock in, and become a difference maker. But right now, that's still just a gamble. And with two all-time greats leading the charge, the margin for error is razor-thin. So what version of Aton will we get? The high-motor, engaged big man who once helped lead Phoenix to the finals? Or the disconnected, low-effort player who faded into the background in Portland? The clock is ticking. The spotlight is on. And for DeAndre Aton, this may be his last best shot to prove he belongs on a contending team. The question is, will he rise or fold? If LeBron James is truly chasing his 5th NBA championship, if he wants to close that legendary gap between himself, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to consider something unthinkable. It might be time to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, that's not an easy idea to digest. After all, this is the franchise that helped him win his fourth ring in 2020. This is the team he chose in 2018, when nobody else believed in them. A team that was lost in the shadows, missing the playoffs for 5 straight seasons. LeBron came in, brought belief, brought purpose, and delivered banner number 17 to the rafters. But that was then. And this is now. Back in February, everything changed. The Lakers made a stunning move. They traded away Anthony Davis, LeBron's hand-picked partner and longtime running mate, in exchange for the younger, flashier superstar, Luka Doncic. That trade didn't just reshape the roster, it shifted the entire identity of the franchise. Suddenly, LeBron James, the man who put the Lakers back on the map, was no longer the focal point. The spotlight had moved. The energy had shifted. The new face of the team is Luka Doncic. According to ESPN insiders Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst, Lakers head coach J.J. Redick and general manager Rob Pelinka met with Doncic and his manager in early May. During that meeting, they clearly laid out the vision for the team moving forward. We're building around Luka. Meanwhile, LeBron didn't get a seat at that table. He didn't get the vision talk. He didn't even get serious contract conversations. The Lakers didn't pursue an extension with him. The only thing on the table was his $52.6 million player option, and yes, he picked it up. But make no mistake, that doesn't mean he's staying. LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, said it best. We understand how hard it is to win now while planning for the future. But at this stage of LeBron's life and career, we want to make every season count. The Lakers understand that. They're supportive. They want what's best for him. Sounds nice, right? But while the Lakers were rolling out the red carpet for Luka, LeBron was left watching from a distance, and maybe even wondering if he still fits into the team's future plans. And then, the signs started coming. Cryptic posts on social media. References to his time in Cleveland. Subtle nods to his past. Nothing explicit. But nothing random either. And if you've followed LeBron's career, you know this. Nothing he does is a coincidence. Behind the scenes, LeBron is evaluating his options. Because let's face it, the Lakers aren't built for him anymore. On the surface, yes, playing next to Luka Doncic sounds great. 2 brilliant playmakers. 2 basketball geniuses. But in practice, it's awkward. They both need the ball. They both want to control the game's tempo. They both orchestrate best when they're in charge. That's not an ideal fit. And it gets more complicated when you look at the rest of the roster. Austin Reeves. Talented, yes. But again, best with the ball in his hands. DeAndre Aton. A former number 1 pick, sure. But he just got bought out by Portland after an uninspiring season on a 36-win team. Not exactly championship material. And after those names, the depth starts to thin out. This is not the kind of supporting cast LeBron needs at this stage of his career. He's 40 years old. He's still elite. But he doesn't have time to wait for chemistry to build or role players to figure it out. He needs a team that's ready now. And that's why the trade rumors won't go away. Let's talk possibilities. Could he reunite with Davis, this time in Dallas? That puts him with Luka and Kyrie Irving, 2 stars he knows well. Could he return home to Cleveland, one last ride, alongside Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and a hungry Cavs squad? Or what about a blockbuster move to Golden State, teaming up with his longtime finals rival, Stephen Curry, in a storyline no one saw coming? Now, yes, making any of these trades happen would be incredibly complicated. The new collective bargaining rules make it difficult. The salaries are massive. The assets are scarce. But if any player in NBA history could pull it off, it's LeBron James. Still, the most likely outcome. He stays in LA for at least 1 more year. But let's be real, if he does, it won't be because he believes this is the best place to win. It'll be because there wasn't an escape route just yet. This isn't a happy marriage anymore. It's a convenience. LeBron knows the Lakers are Luka's team now. He respects that. But he also knows he still has more to give. He still wants 1 more title. One more parade. One more moment on top. And if the Lakers can't help him get there, he may just find someone who will. Because this isn't just about legacy anymore. It's about finishing strong. And for LeBron James, the clock is ticking.